The figure below shows a velocity time graph for a lorry. Each section of the graph represents different rates of velocity. The table describes the different sections of the graph in terms of their gradients, velocities, and accelerations. Fill in the table by writing down what each of the numbers represent, for 4 marks. So if we first look at the box labelled 1, we see that we must work out the velocity of line B. Line B has a velocity that is unchanging, which means that it is at a constant velocity. For box 2, we must comment on the gradient of C, and if we look at line C, we see that it goes from a relatively high velocity at the beginning, but as time increases, the velocity of line C decreases. Lines that are going down in this manner have a negative gradient. For box 3, we must describe the gradient of line D. We see that the gradient is positive because it's not going up the graph, and it's not negative because it's not going down the graph. In fact, it is completely level, and this means that it has a gradient of 0. For box 4, we must work out the acceleration of line D. If acceleration is increasing, that means velocity should also increase. Likewise, if acceleration is decreasing, velocity should also decrease. As none of these things are happening to line D, whose velocity is at 0, we can say that the acceleration is 0.